welcome. I'm Melinda Kimami. Tonight, the acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, returns to the country from Italy, assures G7 nations of Africa's increasing collaborations in strengthening democracy and fighting terror. Confusion in the Lagos All Progressive Congress as leadership remains undecided on the outcome of the party's primaries. More states showcase achievements in 2 years of being in saddle. Rivers and Enugu states say it's been a good journey so far. And British Airways flights still grounded at Heathrow Airport. Nigeria's acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, has assured the G7 of Africa's increasing collaborations as never seen before in trade, counter-terrorism and democracy. Speaking on the sidelines of the just concluded summit in Italy, Professor Osinbajo described the meeting as fruitful. Promises were made and Nigeria is looking forward to ensure that those promises are kept. Our correspondent Linda Akibe tells us more.
World leaders at the just concluded G7 meeting in Italy. The two-day meeting, which kicked off on Friday, May 26th, focused on terrorism, the Syrian crisis, trade and climate change. Nigeria's acting president, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, who attended the meeting, held discussions with world leaders on possible partnership in the areas of technology, agriculture and sustainable energy. Speaking in an interview with Channels Television, Professor Osinbajo says it was a great opportunity to meet with the G7 countries to exchange ideas on what to do as nations in Africa going forward.
The major issues discussed were the possibilities that innovation offers for development in Africa and indeed all over the world. But I think that we were particularly concerned with the collaborations that are possible with the G7 countries, especially with respect to technology in agriculture, technology in some of the work that we've been doing in social investments, payment systems, in the environment, especially the use of renewable energy. And we talked extensively also about security and about some of the very great partnerships that have been formed with the US, with Italy, Germany, France and the UK. In particular, our Joint Intelligence Unit, which is located in Abuja. And we had an opportunity to discuss a bit of detail about how that has worked very well and some of the challenges and what we expect to see going forward.
The acting president commended the 7 most industrialized nations of the world for their support in the fight against Boko Haram terrorism, especially the United States, France and the UK as effective partners in the Lake Chad Basin. Linda Akibe, Channels Television News.
Now, the fiasco that marred the Lagos All Progressive Congress local council primaries has left the party more confused about the way forward on its candidate for the July 22nd LG polls. The party's leadership told Channels Television today that it has not yet resolved its next step of action. Some of the delegates insisted on voting and disagreed with the move by the election committee to declare some of the seats unopposed. The committee's chairman, Senator Tokunbo Afikuyemi, was attacked and stripped naked, but was lucky to have escaped. Some party leaders are speculating that the process may be cancelled and fresh primaries conducted. The party has up until June the 14th to submit the names of its candidates to the State Electoral Commission. And from Lagos, let's move to Kogi State now, where the governor, Yahaya Bello, says he would not resign despite pressure over his alleged double registration during the voter registration exercise. In a statement today by the Director General on Media and Publicity to the governor, Mr. Kingsley Fawon, he insisted that the issue was blown out of proportion by his opponents to score cheap points. He maintained that the issue was straightforward enough and that he welcomes the decision by the Independent National Electoral Commission to cancel the other registration. Governor Yahaya Bello noted that Kogi State House of Assembly will not be blackmailed into reversing the gains of democracy in the state. The Benue state government says it has uncovered a 4 billion naira bond fraud allegedly carried out by officials of the past administration. Governor Samuel Thom told journalists in Makurdi that the widespread financial mismanagement of the previous government has left the state with little or nothing. The Standards Organization of Nigeria has arrested a dealer of expired household items stored in 2 buildings in different locations in Kirikiri, Lagos. The arrest was carried out through the collaborative efforts of the agency and the Nigerian police. Our correspondent Tempo Ashaju has this report.
2 months ago, the Standards Organization of Nigeria discovered a twin-story building belonging to Jolf Ventures Nigeria Limited. The buildings are stocked with imported expired household items where the expiry dates are distorted. Acting on the tip-off this weekend, the agency moved in on yet another 2 separate buildings found with expired domestic consumables with altered dates in the suburbs of Kirikiri belonging to the same company. The head of Inspectorate and Compliance, Mr. Bede Obayi, describes the act as disheartening.
If you are changing the best before dates of products, you are actually selling expired products that are harmful and dangerous to the public. They are very high security risk products, and we cannot allow such a person to be doing it as he likes. Now we have taken him and we have handed him over already to the Nigerian police force for further investigation and prosecution.
Some of the products have been distributed across retail stores in town, but plans are on the way to retrieve the items.
All these are various documents we have obtained from him, various letters of correspondence with our various state offices, where these products have gone to, because we needed to track them and move them back.
How can you store such things for people to use? I mean, it is unacceptable for us. And we are going to take joint action with SON and other regulatory bodies on this issue.
Last week, the Standards Organization destroyed some life-threatening items confiscated for failing specified standards. They include automobile tires, fake bulbs and cables. Temple Ashaju, Channels Television News.
The River State Ecumenical Center, built by Governor Nyesom Wike, was today commissioned by the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Enoch Adeboye. This took place during the Thanksgiving service to wrap up the month-long activity of the celebration of the Golden Jubilee by the state government.
River State Ecumenical Center, with a capacity to seat about 2,000 people. The governor, his wife of the former president, Patience Jonathan, and the officiating pastor, and general overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God. This Thanksgiving service is a climax of a month-long celebration of the Golden Jubilee of the state. And the governor, Nyesom Wike, takes the only lesson of the day.
Day and night may your eyes watch over this temple, over this place of which you have said, my name will be there. Listen to the prayer which your servant offers in this place. Listen to the entreaty of your servant and of your people, Israel. Whenever they pray in this place, listen from the place where you reside in heaven, and when you hear, forgive.
and then more songs of praise from the choir. And it's now time for a sermon as Pastor Enoch Adeboye rises to the podium.
If every door opens to Jesus, it means anyone connected to Jesus Christ, we find that all doors will be opening unto him or her. Because you see, once he holds you by the right hand and is walking out with you, doors will open unto him. And as the door is opening unto him, both him and you will pass through. May I ask you to please kneel down? And will you all please stretch your hands towards this family and just wish them whatever you wish yourself.
The Ecumenical Center has 5 offices and changing rooms with an additional 15 plots of land yet to be utilized. And all of these are handed over to the chairman of the Christian Association of Nigeria.
The Enugu State Governor, Ifeanyi has asked Nigerians to continue to pray for President Muhammadu Buhari, who is currently on medical vacation in the United Kingdom. The governor also told the congregation at the Holy Ghost Cathedral in Enugu about his commitment to deliver on his campaign promises.
Promise I made to you 2 years ago when we took office. It's the same promise I'm going to reinstate myself and the government before you today. I will always keep close to God. I will always put him and his holy name as prime priority ahead of all other considerations. I will always place him the affairs of this great land of peace, seek his divine intervention in all our affairs as a government, and most importantly, as a people. I cannot thank you enough for your prayers. I'm aware that our success is so far in transforming the economic and infrastructural landscape of this state could not have been achieved without factoring the support you provided for us. Let me also use this opportunity to call on us, clergy, lay-like, to continue to pray for our dear country, especially for the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, for the healing power of God to visit him and restore his health, to enable him to continue to work for the unity and good governance of our great nation, Nigeria.
Governor of Enugu State, Ifeanyi. In part 2, after the break, Kaduna State takes a leap out of years of water scarcity, commissions water plants in Zaria. That's in a moment. Join us again.